Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The wait was well worth it. Steam is now up and working, and we've got Alliance versus Cloud9. We're loaded in. Drafts are underway.
At
How you
long
doing?
last, this game is underway.
You still awake? You still with us?
It was a long break.
That was a really long break. We're about an hour
Very
behind
inconvenient
schedule.
to push a Steam.
Inconvenient. Oh gosh, let me get rid of that title screen. Oh, there we go. Production value, guys. So we're about to hop right into it here, Merlini. Let's talk Dota 2 Lounge, though. I want to know numbers. What are the bets looking?
69-31 in favor of Cloud9. Yesterday, Empire...
No, in favor of Alliance.
A favor of Alliance, sorry.
Yes.
And then yesterday, Empire Cloud9 was 67-33. So, I mean... So people are saying that Empire yesterday is weaker than Alliance today, or Cloud9's... I mean, Cloud9 should be a little bit weaker than yesterday since they lost, but... At the same time, I don't really buy that. I think it should be a little bit more in favor of Cloud9.
There's a degree of betting that's just a popularity contest, you have to admit.
That's
so, I mean, Alliance, they
but
have
like,
that
Empire
brand,
beat
that
Navi.
popularity.
Navi beat Alliance. So...
If so, de facto, Empire is better than Alliance?
Yeah, Empire should be better than Alliance.
By that logic, yeah.
By the... What's that property? Transitive property?
Transitive? That sounds right.
Sounds right.
I'll buy it. Additive, multiplicative.
It's not additive.
Div. So
You were not a math major.
I
was not a math major
was
either.
not a math major. So, all right, let's go ahead and take a look at our draft here, my man. And I'm getting the hang of this thing. We've got our overlays in the right position. Alliance, that luxury first pick. They went with the Mirana. Cloud9 taking that Ember Spirit and Bat Rider.
So Cloud9, they will almost always go for an Ember or the Mirana in their first pick. And if you don't grab them, they probably would just grab both of them.
Yeah, that's very true. They prioritize the Bat pretty high as well.
Bone 7 Bat.
Yep, Boner 7. And the most common ban, as we see here, Visage, Aoi's 2000's Visage. We've made comments about it many a time. He is kind of the master of farming on that hero, so not surprised.
He's the master of farming on most of his supports.
Most heroes, but Visage in particular.
Yeah, Visage, Chen,
It's insane.
I wonder what they're going to pick him, though. It could be the Chen, but Alliance, if they're scared of it, they can just ban it out, or they can just pick Ench.
I've got some trivia for you here, Merlini.
Okay.
Did you know that Aoi 2000 has the second highest average GPM among all support players of 327? Would you like to take a guess at who the number one is, the only person ahead of Aoi?
Puppy.
10 seconds.
We went through this yesterday.
You knew it. We did, really?
Yeah.
The same stat?
Yeah.
Snakes.
5 seconds.
You caught me. All right.
Snakes.
Snakes. Ah, you rat bastard. Well, yeah, that's still a pretty impressive stat, though. Cloud9, they've got some skills to pay the bills. Let's talk win percentages as well.
Let's talk snakes.
Let's talk some snakes, man.
There were a couple of funny Dota names that I've seen. One was Snakes on a Plane.
Snakes on a plane?
Or Nakes on a Plane, sorry.
Nakes on a...
Nakes.
Nakes on a plane.
Nakes
Oh,
on a
that's
plane.
good.
And
I wouldn't want to be on a plane with him.
Other one is Jakiro Taco Bell. Those are the two really funny ones that I've seen.
That's pretty good. Right now in this patch, Alliance, they are sitting 77% win, 13-4, and Cloud9, they've played substantially more games. They are 27-16 on 6.8 with about a 63% win rate.
Alliance clowned on their opponents earlier today.
Yes, they certainly did. We saw that Tinker pick. How exciting was that?
And the Axe.
You know, somebody actually tweeted at me and said, dude, you casted a game when Lions played Tinker. The first day of this season of Starladder, that was their one Tinker game.
Oh, I didn't.
Yep, you weren't casting. It was against Team Cleve, and they won handily. It was me and Gods.
Does that count?
Gods and I. Sure, why not? I mean, it was in that Dota. It counts.
10 seconds remaining.
Cleve is a real team. Come on. You were the one talking about how Cleve
Oh, yeah,
has been giving
Cleve's a
people a
real
run
team.
for their money. They're looking
That's
good.
insane.
That's insane, yeah.
That's insane. No. That's the team insane.
Yeah, I know.
No,
They
no.
are insane.
The insane.
Yeah.
Insane Gaming
Yeah.
is the one that was.
Oh, that's the one
yeah,
that you
not Cleve.
you like.
Cleve is like.
Cleve is meh?
They're meh.
Okay, I like Cleve. You can like Insane, I'll like Cleve. Caster favorites.
Okay.
Get a little pool going. So what's going on in this draft here? Alliance is banning out the Shadow Demon and the Life Stealer. Cloud9 will ban out Bulldog's Bounty Hunter, and they're going to take their time trying to decide what they want to fourth ban. It will be the Luna. Interesting. Luna's a hero that Cloud9 have been running quite a bit. One that they've actually been prioritizing quite heavily.
Or Morphling and Drow, but Alliance, they aren't scared of either of those.
Gosh, I really hope Cloud9 does not pick themselves a Morphling.
That's what they usually go to nowadays. Or it could be the Wisp Storm that we've seen, but with the Bat Rider in the offlane, I don't think so. So I think they're going to lean towards one of those, because Life Stealer's banned out, Luna's banned out.
Yeah. Now, they will have a go at this Ember Spirit again, and yesterday Sing Sing got a lot of flack for that game we saw. I think he ended like 0-7-4, something close to that. Not the best Ember Spirit play we've seen, but as we talked about, it wasn't completely his fault. They wanted Morphlane to go solo mid, and then they tried him in the off lane.
He dual lane mid.
Well, okay, Morphlane mid. good point. But still, Ember Spirit didn't go mid. He needed to either go off lane, which they tried. He died. That didn't work so well. Then he tried to go safe lane against Tidehunter. That also didn't work so well. I don't know if that was really Sing Sing's fault. He wasn't making like terrible plays all over the place. He wasn't.
He could have done damage control.
Yeah, I mean, he could have done a little bit better, but he got such a slow start because of the way they set up the lanes. Ember Spirit is not a hero that plays from behind very well.
I agree.
Yeah.
They need to put him in a position to thrive. But, I mean, even over the past few days, we've seen Ember Spirits just suffer everywhere. Solo mid, solo safe lane, in the off lane position. He just hasn't been doing that well in general. Teams are just figuring out, hey, we'll leave him alone for a little bit, and then we'll just pressure him hard, or we'll pressure him hard early, instead of just letting him farm up a 15-minute Battle Fury crit.
Yeah, people are finally realizing how weak he is in the early stage, and also, it's more to the point of once you get him down in the early game, if he doesn't do a lot of damage, he's just not so scary.
Especially if he has solutions for him. There is no Doom pick. I think Doom is probably one of the most popular counter picks to Ember Spirit.
We haven't seen that all too much.
We haven't seen it. Yeah, I mean, it was like a week ago, but now it's just like, well, we don't even need. we don't even need it.
We don't need Doom. We can just gank him in lane, and that's all. That's all you need. A little bit of early game rotation. Cloud9 will third pick themselves the Shadow Priest, Mr. Dazzle. And Alliance will go ahead and grab the Chen. So not a big surprise there. Alliance very comfortable with Chen. A pretty straightforward draft so far. Bane, Mirana.
I'm more surprised that Cloud9 didn't take Chen. That's what I'm more surprised about. Dazzle, he has okay synergy. Ember Spirit might need a little bit of babysitting this game in team fights.
Yeah, and based on the way Alliance played Bulldog's Bounty Hunter last game, and seeing him banned out here, I was taking that as a sign that Cloud9 would want to grab the Chen right away so that you know, Admiral Bulldog can't do that crafty work in the jungle. But maybe Alliance took that as a read the other way around. They banned out the Bounty Hunter. Give us the Chen. We're happy with it.
Maybe Cloud9's baiting it out. Maybe it's like a next level.
Maybe.
Next level.
I hope so. I mean, I would like that. It would be interesting. I want to see what they pair with this Dazzle as well. We've talked about how Luna and Dazzle have a huge win rate, and
there it is.
I
told you, they like it way too much.
They really do. I mean, we saw yesterday that epic Sigma versus Cloud9 game. Eternal Envy was just about as fat as you can get on Morphling. He was completely six-slotted, had more gold than he needed for buyback, bought a goddamn rapier, and still couldn't carry the game with Morphling. What more evidence do you need?
I mean, if it was a sixth other hero, would have been a lot different? I think so.
I think if it was an anti-mage, it would have been a little different. If it was a gyrocopter with that rapier, it would have been a little bit different. That's for damn sure. I mean, Morphling's not really that great of a rapier carrier.
If it were a Spectre?
A Spectre? Possibly. I mean, is Spectre a good rapier carrier, though?
Against their lineup, yeah. They had double Ravage. So,
yeah, that's
like,
true.
any hero... Any like weak hero like Gyrocopter or Morphling without insane amounts of strength or like a Satanic or something like that is just gonna die in the Blink Double Ravage. So like an anti-mage or Spectre who can actually tank it, I think would have been much better. Also, melee heroes are generally better versus the Naga Siren too, because you can kill the images much faster, especially anti-mage. So I think anti-mage would have been like #1 in that.
Yeah, cream of the crop. So we'll see. Kind of curious to see if it will be Eternal Envy mid on the Morphling, whether it's solo or whether it is with a dual lane support to get a little bit of an edge early on. Last time he played Morphling, the Sigma game yesterday, he did go hand to Midas, that kind of Arteezy style as I've been calling it. And that seems to work pretty well. In the grand scheme of Morphling builds and positions, I do like him mid with a Midas.
Well, he's useless anyways in the first 20 minutes, so you might as well get a Midas.
Yeah,
I don't think it's that bad.
I agree. I totally agree. Clockwork will be the fourth pick for Alliance. A nice strong offlaner. Some initiation / counter initiation to deal with that Bat Rider. Not too bad. Never going to be upset about a Clockwork
well-rounded.
pick. Yeah. Very strong hero. So, per usual, Alliance saving that S4 hero for last.
Alliance's AoE is actually pretty garbage. So, I think like in team fights, they have like decent control, but not enough damage. Cloud9 has a lot more damage coming out with the Dazzle heal, with Morphling, with Bat Rider, Firefly, and all that good stuff, and especially Ember Spirit. So, I think if it comes to sustained 5-on-5s, Cloud9 definitely wins out in that aspect. Alliance has a little bit stronger gank with the Priest as the Moon, with the Moonlight Shadow, with the Grip, and the Clockwork. Most importantly, the Clockwork. So we'll have to see how Alliance can handle it, and it might just be another one of those Cloud9 games where they try and farm out with Morphling, try and create space with Bat Rider, and just get bigger than the other team. That's what I see from them a fair amount.
Yeah. Now, very interesting final ban for Cloud9. They do take out the Tinker. Apparently they were watching last game. I'm not so sure that ban is warranted, though. I mean, S4's Tinker wasn't bad, but I mean, it was a pretty one-sided game. Alliance have not been picking Tinker very often. I'm not so sure they would have grabbed him here.
I don't think so either. And it's not the best versus Bat Rider either. Bat Rider usually just lassos him, pulls him away from the march, and then you just die from there. But and I don't really think it would have worked that well, because if they want to play the farm game, Tinker, he does okay with items, but at the same time, everyone's just going to die to the Flaming Fist or Sleight of Fist, whatever it's called, if it gets to that point in the game. So I think they need someone with better control, and that's a little bit more aggressive than a Tinker.
All right, well, some good gank coming out here for Cloud9. Earthshaker with the final pick. They certainly needed some stuns because they do not have a lot of crowd control. So I like the Earthshaker pick here. He seems to fit in. Will help their laning phase a little bit. Makes it a little bit more difficult to push into. Always a good pick against Chen as well with all those extra units on the field.
Yeah, at the same time, they don't have that. Alliance doesn't have that great push, though. It's just a Chen.
Yeah.
And Earthshaker is not very good versus Clockwork. That initiation. Like, if Clockwork finds Earthshaker, it's like almost a lost fight. But they do have multiple ways to initiate. They have a Dazzle to keep them alive, so it's not the worst pick in the world. I think I like their other picks more, though. Besides the Morphle. I like the first three a lot.
Reserve time.
Oh, man.
So, Alliance, they could potentially still be looking for an Admiral Eternal Dong hero. It could be Clockwork mid,
It could
potentially.
Does S4 play mean Clockwork mid? Is that something
I've seen
that
him play before. It's decent. It's not as good as Bulldogs, but it's still very good.
And woo, Death Prophet, the final pick. So you were talking about lacking some push. They will make up for it with the Crobulus.
I like Death Prophet. I don't know if I've seen S4 play it, though. Time to Dat Dota.
Yeah, actually, Dat Dota, that bad daddy. I like that Alliance are really starting to branch out, though. It is nice to see them experimenting with new heroes, and they've been doing so well in the group stage of this tournament that they have a little bit of wiggle room here. Dropping a game against Cloud9 wouldn't be the end of the world right now. I'm really curious about these Death Prophets.
I've seen them run it a couple of times on Loda. I have not actually seen them. I've seen the one game they played. Oh, actually, that's all time. I don't even know if that's 6.80.
That's all time.
Yeah, it was last patch that I saw it.
6.79.
Yeah, it was 6.79 that I saw it, and it was a Loda Death Prophet, and they ended the game pretty early, so...
That's insanity. So we've seen the second time that Tinker has ever been picked by Alliance in competitive, parsed by Dat Dota, and here we're seeing the second Death Prophet in back-to-back games.
Death Prophet's legit.
Fascinating. Fascinating.
He's a legit hero.
The question, though, does it fit S4's play style as kind of the team captain, the big playmaker in the mid-game?
He's not a tempo. She's not like a tempo control in the traditional sense that S4 plays. Not like a Mag or a Bat Rider.
Puck or something.
Those are his signature heroes,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Magnus.
Yeah, I said Mag.
Oh yeah, you did. Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Yeah, those are his three key heroes, and those are more about controlling fights. Death Prophet can definitely tempo control, but more through pushing towers. And Silence is extremely useful versus the Ember Spirit, versus the Morphling, even versus the Dazzle. I think the AoE Silence is actually the most underrated part about Death Prophet, and why she's such a strong pick circumstantially.
Yeah, level 4 up to 6 seconds in Silence
The
duration.
AoE got buffed too, I think. Like
Yeah.
425 radius is massive.
It's rather large. In a team fight, you should easily be able to hit 2 or 3 heroes.
And it's only 11-second cooldown.
Yeah.
So you have like over 50% uptime on it.
Silence is particularly potent against Dazzle. Like you said, Ember Spirit and Morphling as well. But Dazzle, if you can silence him, stop that grave from cutting out, you're cutting a huge part of the power that Dazzle brings to the table.
The problem is, I think C9 just has like so much burst that if Clockwork hookshots in or Death Prophet tries to go too manly in with the Ghost, one of them is going to die really quickly.
And I think this is going to be a clear shotgun game here for Eternal Envy. They've got plenty of magic damage to follow up, and they will be able to pick up some kills pretty easily once that Ethereal Blade comes out. Let's introduce our rosters, though, and see where everyone's going to be laning to get things started in this game. We've got Cloud9 on the Radiant side. Aoi 2000 will be on the Shadow Priest Dazzle down in the bottom
They're
lane.
smoking already.
And, here it is. You're right. EGM
You
and
do not
RK.
see aggro Chen try very often at all. So I think this will take C9 by surprise, especially since they bypass the sword with the smoke. They can get a creep, and they won't expect them at all.
Yep. They seem to have no idea whatsoever. It is Sing Sing down here in the bottom lane on the Ember Spirit, and I'm keeping tabs on this smoke. Eternal Envy in the mid lane on that Morphling, and we're going to have to hold the introductions here as EGM is rotating down bottom. Loda is on the Mirana here. There's the Nightmare. Sacred Arrow will be intercepted by Sing Sing. I want to say that was intentional to try and keep Dazzle alive.
Well played.
And it'll work. Yeah, good footwork there.
Yep. Aki has a Tornado Creep. Looks like he's just going to be double stacking a little bit and get some more XPs. And I like this because now Aoi can't play greedy, and Aoi is very well known for playing as one of the more greedy supports.
Yep. And whoa, Morphling taking some pretty heavy damage here in the mid lane, tanking the creep wave. So let's finish introducing our rosters before more kills come out. Pile I Die will be on the Earthshaker in the mid lane for now, and Bone 7 will be in the off lane Bat Rider. And of course, the first blood comes out as I toggle back down to the bottom lane. Did you catch it, Merlini?
Just Sing Sing killing him.
Just Sing Sing doing some damage.
Yep, he tried to use a sleep, but did not work out for them. Chen needs to try and get the upper hand on this lane because this bottom lane. Oh my gosh, Loda already died too. That is.
Wow.
They are underestimating the damage of that Shadow Wave. They are tanking like melee creeps.
So am I. Chen was rotating over and he died in like a second. That was ridiculous. EGM still isn't out of the clear. Sing Sing's in some trouble though as the Centaur comes around the backside. Aoi trying to do more damage to EGM, but not going to be enough. And now Aoi will be forced to retreat. Centaur stun not coming up for 10 seconds. But they don't need it, I don't think. A few more auto attacks. Shadow Wave will buy him some more time. No point in the shallow grave quite yet. Arrow. Oh, nice juke from Aoi. And that may ensure his survival. Sing Sing now coming in. Looking to do some more damage. We did miss a kill while that was happening as well. Clockwork picked up a solo kill on the Bone 7 up here in the top lane.
That is rare.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure what happened there either, but there's so much action going on in the bottom lane. Pile I Die meanwhile doing some creep shenanigans in the middle. He's already level 3 on that Earthshaker.
Uh-oh. S4 could be in some trouble. He will get blocked in. A beautiful fissure coming out from Pile I Die. The creep's actually doing a fair bit of damage, but there won't be enough follow-up, and S4 will survive.
And it secures a rune for Eternal Envy.
Yeah. So much aggression this game.
Yeah, it really is.
Turn up our sounds here a little bit. So looking at farm, Morphling is doing reasonably well in the mid lane, 14-2, more than reasonably well. Death Prophet only 6-2 right now. The impact that Pile I Die has had is undeniable, zoning out S4, and he's struggling a little bit. He did get the bottle up, but...
Ha! I see what you did there.
Oh, down bottom, EGM's in trouble once again. That Flame Guard just too much damage. Aoi will take a point-blank arrow, and Ake joining the fray now as well. Satyr Tormentor will throw a shockwave. Aoi does have a TP scroll, but it's going to be stuck on cooldown. He'll try and do as much damage as he can before he falls, but Chen finishes him off with one more shockwave. Meanwhile, in the mid, now S4 taking a lot of damage from Eternal Envy. And he needs to be a bit careful here. Waveform coming up in 2 seconds. EE's going to go for it. This should be a kill. Waveform on the mark. And Death Prophet falls. EGM ports in, but it won't be enough to grab a counter kill. Eternal Envy off to the races here, leading the last hits, and now also picking up a solo kill.
Yeah, and now Death Prophet's only level 3, almost level 4. 4 minutes in. That is not good as solo min. So this Earthshaker mid is just doing so much work.
Yeah, he really is.
Denying so much experience to Death Prophet. Death Prophet doesn't even have boots. He might secure a DD rune for EE too. So S4 can't get any runes. He might actually die here if he gets blocked.
Yeah, especially with the double damage up on Eternal Envy. That is scary. Meanwhile, in the Radiant jungle, though, there is some action coming about. Sing Sing doing more damage with that Flame Guard, going ham on Ake, but he may get turned around on. No, Ake falls. Now Sing Sing headed towards the mid lane. Did use a healing salve. The Crypt Swarm knocks it off. One last auto attack from the Death Prophet secures the kill. Now Dazzle's in some trouble. He did get hit by an arrow. The Crypt Swarm, I think it fell a little bit short, but Miranda does finish him off anyhow. 5-5 here at the 4.5-minute mark. Both sides hungry for blood, Merlini.
Bloodbath everywhere. Bat Rider's not level 6. He was forced to retreat from the lane. Meanwhile, Admiral Eternal Dong on the top lane, level 6.5 with his bottle. So we see a lot of bottles this game.
And he's number 2 on net worth with that Clockwork.
Yeah, Sing. Well, no one's been farming. Everyone's just been killing people. Yeah. We see a lot of bottles soon. That generally means a very action-packed game too. Sing Sing with the bottle, Loda in the offlane with the bottle, both mids with the bottle, and Clockwork with the bottle. So we see 5 bottles this game.
Yep, that's usually a pretty good sign. And Rune Control, this is a good sign of aggression, pardon me, and Rune Control will be even that much more important. Death Prophet still not quite level 6. Eternal Envy has finally dinged that mark. He did go Ring of Aquila first. Still unsure if he's going to go Hand of Midas. Based on the aggression this game, it might not be the right choice to go for Midas. Because both sides are just very focused on this early game fighting.
And Sing Sing has opted for the 3-1-1 build. So switching it up a little bit, we've seen a lot of different Ember Spirit builds, whether it's the Arteezy no Flame Guard build, whether it's the Max Flame Guard build that we see some of the CIS players run. It all varies.
And doing some damage, connects with the bolas onto Loda, and look how much damage those Searing Chains do when they're leveled up primarily. That was just one rotation, and it took Loda below half health, forcing him to suck down some of those remaining bottle charges.
Suck down.
Yep, sucking it down.
Well, Sing Sing, he has his
He's level 6 now.
his spirits up.
Radiant's bottom tower
Fire
is under
Remnants
attack.
trying to do some damage. Will waste the bolas. Nice leap from Loda as well. EGM moving around the jungle, kiting these creeps around. He will scout out this regeneration rune. Spawning at the 6-minute mark. Loda will go ahead and fill up that bottle. And he now has a regeneration to play with.
Still looks like EE is dominating the mid lane. Looking at what Paladai has done, looks like he's denied one creep wave. Those dragons just demolish creep waves though, so he won't be getting experience, but he will still be denying S4 some. Looks like S4 is going the 2 Witchcraft build, no silence until later, and bottom, yeah, not exactly
kill
know
Mirana.
what
Again, he just kills him so fast. As soon as
he didn't use Ember Spear, the Remnants.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know, man. I look at the minimap and see that they're engaging, and then by the time you get there, Loda's already dead. The burst damage, the Searing Chains.
Yeah, he was at full HP when he returned. Maybe he didn't have leap up. I mean, still, that...
The damage is just insane.
Yeah, Sing Sing 3-2-2, very active in this bottom safe lane, and their aggro try has just not been working out that well. Chen's still relatively quiet, too.
And Chen is just about to hit level 6. He is smoked up right now with a Centaur as well as a Hellbear. There's a hook shot onto Paladai, stuck inside the cogs. Even the Dragon's doing a bit of damage here. That will be an easy kill on the Earthshaker. Death Prophet comes in with a Crypt Swarm to snipe the last hit and get a little bit of bonus gold.
They are tired of S4 getting messed around in with middle. And very smart, play some reserve reward here. Smoked up just in case they had vision.
Yeah, I like that play indeed. Bola's coming out onto EGM in the bottom lane. The damage! Oh, man, that is brutal.
The deeps, man.
The deeps. Loda's farm, a little bit lackluster, but so is Sing Sing's, to be perfectly frank. They've spent more time killing each other than they have farming, and they're both middle of the pack in terms of net worth at the moment. Shen up top will do a little bit of a wraparound. Perhaps Bone 7 will be in a little bit of trouble. He doesn't have enough mana for a lasso, and will actually use his remaining mana on a Firefly, but Chen just pulling the creeps out of the way to try and pull some damage off the tower. At the bottom rune, Aoi 2000 and Eternal Envy going blow for blow. It was an invisibility. Aoi picked it up, but he takes an arrow. And Eternal Envy, the Eternal Dong is throwing me off here. Doing a lot of damage. Aoi is still not out of the clear, but it appears he will survive. They can't find him. Close call.
Yeah. Wow.
Little too close for comfort. He did have some wand charges, but still.
Bane almost gets a kill on Sing Sing, just misses the brain sap. I don't think it would have killed him. Sing Sing looked like he had like 240 HP, and that's a blink on the Bat Rider. So off lane 8 minutes, even with one death. Bone 7 still doing very well.
And Tranquils before that as well. Great farm coming out from this Bat.
Yeah, 52 CS on him.
Wow. Yeah, he is number 2 on the net worth chart. Eternal Envy still continues to be the leading farmer, though. 3.8k in net worth, and he's got 56 last hits on the board.
That's a... Oh, that's not a Midas.
What does he have coming? Yeah, it's just going to be power treads.
That's unusual.
Interesting. Oh, Moonlight Shadow used by Alliance. Rotation down bottom from S4.
With his Obs ward.
There's that ward right there. So they will turtle up behind the tower. Great positioning from Cloud9. Sing Sing and
I don't know if they're safe still.
Actually, maybe not. I said great positioning, but maybe spoke too soon. Aoi will run and split up the forces. He will burn the grave. The arrow is off the mark. Gets off a weave before he goes down. And in comes Bone 7, showing off that shiny new Blink Dagger.
Wow.
Aoi 2000 with well-timed wand charges and a Shadow Wave will survive to tell the tale. Now Loda's in some trouble as he does take the Poison Touch. Trying to commit on Aoi 2000. He survives, and the Clockwork gets picked off. Meanwhile, around the backside, Morphling and the Ember Spirit finish off the Death
That was
Prophet.
all on S4. He did, or Admiral Bulldog rather. He didn't cog or hookshot the Dazzle. They thought it was an easy kill, and I think if he just cogged him right there, he would have died.
Yeah.
They missed the arrow as a result, and he was invis like almost right on top of him. So had they been able to get that, like Dazzle wouldn't have been able to draw them all the way over here. They didn't know that Bat Rider had a Blink Dagger, but still, that's a huge momentum shifter. Admiral Bulldog just being a little bit too stingy with his spells.
Yeah, absolutely. And Death Prophet, I didn't catch that part as we were watching the other fight transpire, but did burn the Exorcism, was able to knock down that bottom tier 1 tower. But Alliance are in a little bit of trouble here. The gold graph is leveled out because of the tower, but experience 3,000
They're in a lot of
favor
trouble.
of Cloud9 at only the 10-minute mark.
Their late game is garbage.
Yeah, especially compared to how well this Morphling is doing.
And Ember.
I mean, he's 4.7k on net worth. The leading farmer on Alliance is Clockwork at 3.3. That is a huge disparity.
Rut-row.
Rut-row.
Now Alliance, they have to push or they have to fight, but at the same time, they're not really that strong to do either.
How is Chen doing? Level 7 now. Ake has been a little bit more quiet than we're used to seeing him. He does have the buckler and headdress complete, about halfway to the recipe for mech. Perhaps that's what Alliance is waiting for before they want to start knocking down more towers. And Death Prophet will have the ult coming up in just about 5 seconds. She is level 8.
Loda in mid.
That's not so good. Ooh, in the mid lane. Yeah, there's the lasso. He will leap back to safety, but it will only buy him a few seconds. They do secure the kill. Adaptive strike from the Morphling finishes him off.
And this is just going from worse to disaster.
From bad to worse, I think is what you were looking for there.
Whatever. It is a disaster. All I can say for
Certainly
Alliance. I mean, the kill score is not that bad, and the gold graph is only 500 in favor of C9, but at this point in the game, I'm not really sure what they can do. They can go for kills now, and then they're going for one on Morphling. He gets gripped up, and it gets immediately canceled by Pilot Eye.
Yeah.
Like, they have to push towers.
S4 comes in. He had the Exorcism on before he poured it in, so it doesn't have too much time left. They will do a little bit of damage to this Tier 1 tower in the mid lane, but they won't be able to take it down with the Exorcism alone. There are 3 Chen creeps inbound, Hellbear Smasher, the Dark Troll Summoner, as well as a Centaur Conqueror. So perhaps this tower will fall. Cloud9 don't want to fight right now. They don't have a lasso up, so they will instead just trade Tier 1 for Tier 1 as Bone 7 takes out the top tower.
Bone 7 is going to have his 4-step very soon, too. Well,
and Replicate used on Bone 7 as well. Maybe they can bait something out.
Now Alliance have to just kind of chill for a little bit and wait for their Exorcism to come off cooldown. 55 seconds left on that. But gold lead, even with the tower disadvantage, C9 still retains a 1,000 gold lead. That's just very scary for me. Morphling, he has 2,200 gold. Not sure if he's going to go for a Midas. Typically, it's pretty good versus a Chen, and with the way the game's going, the longer they draw the game out, the better it'll be.
We'll see. Could just be going for Lincoln's first. Time will tell once he gets executive here. Chen is now up on, or pardon me, Mech is now up on the Chen. So they can start pushing a little bit more aggressively. They've got a Basilius up as well. Looks like Clockwork going for drums after the phase. How's Sing doing? He's going to go phase drums as well after the bottle now has his magic wand up. Looks like Alliance are hungry for some Roshan, and with Chen, that makes it a little bit easier. They don't have a medallion up, so it won't be the easiest Rosh. It does actually get scouted out by the Dazzle. He throws the weave. Of course, it does reveal, so C9 know what's going on here. And Alliance need to be a little bit careful.
They need to be a lot of careful, especially with Bone 7 on his way there. He doesn't actually have enough money for a smoke, and they're trying to use the Ghost to take it down, so it looks like it will be secure before C9 can make it over. But at the same time, there's still a lot of farm going on. They have to blow the glyph. T2 tower still takes a lot of damage on top lane. And Death Prophet's not even the best Aegis carrier too, because your Ghost, if you die with your Ghost on, they won't be back when you revive.
I would say she's a bad Aegis carrier. Her ultimate is the power of this hero.
It's not bad because they'll be focusing her often. Like if Bat Rider lassos her and then she dies, then she can Exorcism and they can win the team fight from there.
Very true.
But she's not a great one. There are worse.
Yeah, there are worse for sure, but definitely not ideal. Percentile, what are you giving her, like 50?
I'd say lower than 50.
Lower than 50?
Well, I mean, as far as like normal position 1 or position 2s,
yeah,
it's pretty low. It's probably like 20th percentile in terms of
she ain't no Storm Spirit.
It's not a Storm Spirit. Lone Druid is not that great either. Sometimes when you die, you're not in bear form, and then you just die again immediately after.
Yeah. Looks like we'll see an engage up top. S4 may drop this Aegis early on. Bone 7 does go ahead and use the lasso onto Bane, pulls him out of position. Still no one down quite yet. The Hand of God and Met come out. Hook shot from Admiral Bulldog onto Pylai die. EGM there as well with the Brain Sap, does plenty of damage. Pi will go down in this exchange, and it looks like he'll be the only one to fall.
That was I mean, even though he knew he was going to die, he still ran back into their area so that they can't pursue.
Sing Sing takes an arrow in the mid lane. Now he's in trouble. The Starstorm comes. The extra star does connect. S4 with a Crypt Swarm, but there is a Grave inbound, and Sing will survive. But a little bit of an arrow magnet this game, I must say.
Yep. Alliance still scrambling to get things done. They did pick up a kill, so gold lead around 500 in favor of Alliance, but they've achieved more objectives, and they're still losing out in the gold war.
Bone 7 needs to be a little careful up here. Alliance are starting to converge. He is solo, does not have a lasso up for another 40 seconds. Admiral Bulldog not going for the drums as I thought. He will grab the blade mail, has it complete already. Now Bone 7's in big trouble. Nightmare into silence, but he has support from Pylai Da, and Ice Fissure will break up the fight a little bit. Bone 7 still taking some damage from that rocket flare, will be able to blink back to safety. And Eternal Envy won't secure the kill. Well, I keep doing that. Admiral Bulldog won't secure the kill. I keep seeing Eternal, and it just keeps throwing me off. Admiral Eternal Dong.
What a name.
What a name. What a name.
Loda trying to do some catch-up farm. And looks like Morphling has actually just opted to skip out of a Midas. I do like the Morphling solo mid, though. Especially when you have that much babysit. And especially against a relatively weaker solo mid like Death Prophet. I think that's where the hero is really, really good because you really have to be ahead of everyone to make a good impact. Big impact. Oh!
Oh, wow. That'll proc the Aegis. Well done by Sing Sing there. Huge sleight of fist. Now the Death Prophet's back up. She won't have her ultimate, and they may try to pursue. Oh, Sing Sing will actually get blocked by his teammate there. Meanwhile, that's happening. Dazzle gets picked off in the mid lane. Admiral Bulldog grabs the kill. Looks like it was just a classic case of the 4-on-1.
Well, Morphling did get the tower.
Oh, yeah.
So not that bad.
Not too bad.
Well, Alliance still hanging in there. I am always scared for them though. Like this lineup, they have a timeline on their lineup.
Bone 7, he walks right into Admiral Bulldog. He will lasso him back. Sing Sing does some damage, but they don't have enough follow-up damage. Eternal Envy throws the rocket flare. Hookshot is available, but he does not burn it quite yet. Sing Sing will pour it out, and that's it. He survives.
Yep. They might go for a slow push here, but without the Aegis on Death Prophet and without really any items up on her, I don't know if they can continue this. And meanwhile, Morphling just pressuring the bottom lane. So I think if Alliance goes for this, at best it'll be a 1-for-1. At worst, it could potentially just be a 0-for-1.
Yeah, Eternal Envy still picking up a lot of momentum. He's 3-0-0 on this Morphling, so he's done a good job, as always, avoiding death, finding good engagements, and he's very close to this Linkens now. He has the recipe as well as the ultimate orb, and...
Nice game sense by Eternal Envy.
Yep, just about 1,500 gold in the bank. Yeah, he'll back up. As Bane comes in, Moonlight Shadow, they'll engage up top. Admiral Bulldog, he goes straight in onto Sing Sing. Not the ideal target, though. They don't get the silence off in time, and he will hop back to the Fire Remnant. Now Alliance, they may want to reevaluate their strategy here. Exorcism coming up in just about a second.
EGM wrapping around behind.
Uh-oh, Eternal Envy.
He's already
now
morphing,
in some trouble.
They need more TPs.
Nightmare into Fiend's Grip. Now Loda gets off the Starstorm. The Silence, the Crypt Swarm. Will they have enough, though? He's out of mana, uses those stick charges. They will secure this kill. Eternal Envy falls for the first time in this game, and that helps level out that hero score. 9-10 here at the 18-minute mark. It
still takes 4 heroes as well as a Fiend's Grip and a Hookshot just to kill a Morphling. In a real team fight, if Dazzle graves him, he can just wait for him to safety. And that's the problem with Alliance's lineup right now. They have to devote so much to kill a hero, and even then, if they don't focus on Owie or get him in a silence, then the grave is still going to interrupt their flow.
And now Alliance, they're starting to pressure that bottom tier 2 tower, but Cloud9 will defend. The Bat Rider as well as the Earthshaker are down here. Earthshaker reasonably close to the Blink as well. Pile Dies found pretty good farm this game. Arcane boots up with 1,500 gold sitting in savings. Uh-oh, EGM does get sleight of fisted into Bolas. Nice block with the Fissure, but I don't think they'll pursue it. Sing Sing does dodge the arrow, hops forward, and another sleight of fist Bola combo secures the kill on the Bane element.
Unfortunate for EGM. He's been caught out by so many sleight of hand into Bolas.
Yeah. Sing Sing's been on point this game, though. Much different Ember Spirit than we saw yesterday. 4, 2, and 3. He's now level 11 with a Haste Rune on. Will probably be going into Desolator now following the Phase Boot drums. But we'll see.
Alliance probably just chilling until next Roshan. Minimum respawn is 2 minutes, max is 5. But that's giving C9 more time than Alliance want to give them.
Yeah, and with every moment they sit back and farm, this Morphling gets more and more powerful. S4 has made a little bit of a recovery from that slow start. He is now level 11 and also has a Yule's Scepter up and Power Treads. Very interesting. Usually Phase Boots are the way to go on Death Prophet, but
when you're behind,
you need that buffer. Yeah. So
and
he'll make up for the lack of movement speed with the Yules. An item that I know we're both fond of on the Death Prophet.
Indeed we are. Loda's actually pretty poor too. He just has phase drums. He has 1,700, actually 1,900 now in the bank.
He doesn't
and
even
an Aquila,
have drums unless they're sitting in the bank or on the courier.
Nope.
No, he's just got phase Aquila.
He's just poor.
Wow. Yeah, he really is. He's middle of the pack. Exorcism will be used up at the top tier 1 tower, and there was a silence that came out on the Bat Rider. Sing Sing just harassing with the Bolas. A nice weave comes out, connects with Loda and S4. They're still doing a lot of damage to this tower, but they will be repelled. They don't have enough to finish it off. Another Sleight of Fist Bola combo. There's the Yule's reset. Bat Rider won't be able to grab the lasso that he was looking for. Moonlight Shadow comes out. Hookshot in from Clockwork. Connects with Pile Die. He'll be the first to fall. Now they're going to press through this tower. It should go down. Yes, it does.
And that Yule's from S4 was really good. He did it right as Bone 7 blinked in. So he anticipated the lasso, Yules himself, and then Bat Rider almost died just from the ghost as he was running away after the Yules.
Yep. Batrider also has his Boots of Travel up, so even though he was repelled there, his farm is still damn impressive this game. Number 3 on the net worth chart. Both the offlaners, actually, Clockwork number 2 at about 7.6k, now has his 4-staff up to go with the Blade Mail. Morphling, also with his Lincolns now complete, and Eternal Envy is level 13, still 2 levels up on the other higher level heroes in this game.
Loda's in a lot of trouble.
Uh-oh, Loda. And there's the blink forward into Lasso, Waveform, easy kill. Coming out for Cloud9. Bone 7 will walk away with a little bit of extra
Dire's
gold.
bottom tower is under attack.
And now with Loda dying again, actually, what did he buy? He did complete a Yasha, but now with Loda dying again, I mean, Alliance's late game is just poo-poo. And as the game goes on, like 25, 30 minutes, and they're still behind in kills, a little ahead in towers, they need to secure next Roshan. If they give it to C9, then I think C9 takes it easily. If they take the Roshan down, then I still think they have a decent amount of fight left.
And Roche will be up in just about a minute or so, maybe a bit longer, a minute 15. So that will most definitely become the focal point of this match in the upcoming moments. Sing Sing not going for the Desolator as I initially thought. He does have a Perseverance up, so it appears a Battle Fury will be inbound for the Ember Spirit.
It's nice to deal with the Chen creeps, because the only way Alliance gets an advantage is that they push. And they don't really have that great anti-push on the side of C9, especially not until Earthshaker gets his blink. Well, scratch that, Earthshaker does have his blink.
Yep. Just delivered on the courier, so now things will be a little bit more difficult for Alliance in these team fights. Hopefully Pylai Dai can sit back and get some more initiations off. Last fight he was the one that was initiated on, so that did harbor some of his aggression and damage that he could put out. Roche in 30 seconds.
Going for a push here. This is risky from Alliance. They still don't have a great way to deal with a Batrider initiation on S4. If he gets lassoed and then they get echoed as they try to follow up and save him, then they're going to be in a world of pain. If they don't manage to lasso S4, then he can immediately Yule's Bone 7, but that still takes some tricky positioning.
5-man smoke from Alliance as they rotate their way up towards the top lane. Cloud9 in a little bit of an awkward position here. Pylai Dai hiding in the trees, as is Bone 7. If they get scouted out, this could be a disaster.
Loda's smoke popped. He knows that someone's there.
No, now Loda's the one that's in trouble.
Is he?
He could be. Morphling's up there. No, maybe not. They won't pursue it. Meanwhile, in the mid, Sing Sing up against 4. He needs to be a little bit careful as well. Getting very aggressive. He'll actually take a silence. Where's the hook shot from Admiral Bulldog?
They don't know where his team is.
He won't throw it. Yeah, a little bit too risky. Meanwhile, up in the top, Loda. He will leap into the trees and pour it out. And actually sort of a close call. Pylai Dai closer than I'm sure Loda would like at interrupting that TP.
Yeah.
Now Alliance looking like they want to take Roshan. Let's take a look at Radiant Vision. They do have a ward on the high ground right here, so they know exactly what Alliance are up to. They didn't even smoke into the pit. This is a very risky play, just showing their confidence
Not with
here.
Ghost, though.
Yeah, with Ghost, I guess it is difficult for Cloud9 to hop in. But
and they just do it so fast.
that's true. The reaction time is, even if they wanted to contest here. Yeah, good point. Perhaps I spoke too soon. Death Prophet does make Roche very easy. She's got a little bit of that Starladder gene in her. The anti-Roche.
Well, they managed to secure Roche. Is very, very important, though. If they get it on, like, Morphling or one of the other very important heroes, such as Ember, then Alliances are very likely to lose a big team fight. Nice and I coming out from S4.
Yes, indeed, though. That is the end of their top tier 2 tower. Hook shot. Ooh, connects with Loda. And an arrow onto Morphling. Eternal Envy could be in some trouble here. He will get silenced as well. Morphing the strength. A huge fissure coming out from Pylai Dai. Comes in. There's the Echo Slam. Buys his good buddy some time. Eternal Envy did hop to the replicate. They just don't know where he is. And that's where this fight will end. Just one kill on the Earthshaker.
I don't know if Earthshaker needed a blink in there. It looked like Eternal Envy was safe.
That Dazzle was a close call. He will make the port out. The shallow grave is enough for him to survive. And now Sing Sing. He's trying to escape as well. Does have the Afeeble on. And there you go. That's where this fight will end. 11-12. And Aegis. Who has the Aegis right now? Oh, it is Mirana that has it. It wasn't the Death Prophet. So,
yeah, I think she's really important for this game. If she doesn't get any farm, then she'll easily be out-carried. It looks like both teams just looking to pace it a little slow here. C9 doesn't really have any pressure on them, though. They just need to farm up with Morphling, get the occasional kill with Batrider, make sure Sing Sing gets his farm on the Ember Spirit, and they're good to go. Checking his Battle Fury status, he will have his Claymore in about 1 gold. And Battle Fury to be complete after the broadsword Pili die. Looks like he's in a little bit of danger.
He will blink out. There is a hook shot, though. Connects with the replicate. Will take an arrow as well. That's how you play the Morphling, baiting it out with your ultimate. Now, this Morphling is very close to his E-Blade. He's got the Ghost Scepter in the inventory, just looking for the Eagle Song, which he'll have before too long, seeing as he's got about 2,600 gold sitting in savings. Oh,
EGM.
Could be in some trouble here. Owie walking up to the high ground. Will take a Nightmare. Right now, EGM is all alone, but the dire side will start to converge. It looks like it'll be Owie who's actually in some trouble. Arrow flies. It is off the mark.
He might lose a gem here, too.
Oh, no.
Oh,
this
he
is
dropped the
really
gem.
Bad.
Cheeky.
Smart play. He will go ahead and shallow grave himself. Will it be enough, though?
That's very risky, running up this hill by yourself with the gem.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of bone thrown for Alliance. Now Owie's farm has gone to naught. Who actually bought the gem? Looks like it was indeed Owie.
Yes, it was. And Marana is the one to have it now. I have a feeling Loda will just go ahead and drop this Bad Daddy in the base. No point in really carrying it around, except to get some map control, but they can kind of use it here and there, leave it in the base. And
Usually Bat Rider is the carrier of the gem.
yeah. Yep, there you go. A little trophy in the dire base there.
I have seen some cheeky plays where Bat Riders just like go over here and they just straight up pick up the gem from the fountain.
Oh, God.
It's not that.
That
it's
is
not
pretty
that bad.
cheeky.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I like it. It's just, oh, God, like, that's brave.
It is brave.
Very brave.
I guess they can like it'd be safer to drop it right here in between the T4s for next time.
Important to note, Chen does, well, he's pretty close to that Hooded Defiance. It looks like he will be going for a pipe as he does have that headdress recipe. Some huge items getting picked up on both sides of the coin. BKB now up on the Death Prophet, Battle Fury up on the Ember Spirit, and the E-Blade now up on the Morphling. Looks like they want to grab a kill onto Loda. Pili Die blinks forward, actually off the mark with the stun, but it doesn't matter. He gets dropped by that shiny new Ethereal Blade, and he will proc the Aegis. Another nice fissure coming out from EGM. Arrow will fly off the mark, and Pili Die will be able to blink back to safety.
Yep. EGM looking for Eternal Envy, actually.
Bone 7 forced to pop his BKB as he gets ensnared. Point blank hook shot does connect, trying to buy some time, but Bat Rider will blink back to safety. Whew. Close one.
Yep. Still a lot of farming going on. Gold lead slowly but steadily going in C9's favor, extended to roughly 4,000 at this point. Aegis has been taken down by that shotgun, and it looks like they will barrel down mid at this point without Eternal Envy pestering one of their side lanes.
S4 does have the ultimate available. We mentioned the BKB up, still has yet to use it. Quite a few wand charges as well. Arrow does fly off the mark, but still zones out Cloud9 a little bit. S4 taking huge damage. He'll fall before he can even drop the ultimate. That's the power of the E-Blade shotgun when used in tandem with the Ember Spirit. Now we'll see the lasso come out on EGM. He'll be the second to fall. All are healed from Chen. It just wasn't enough to save him. Now Ake's in big trouble. Cloud9 with a huge burst of momentum here. They will grab 3 kills, and they will press on.
That's one of the good parts about Ember Spirit. Like, he's good at anti-push because he doesn't put himself in any danger, and they just take so much chip damage. Like, Death Prophet, he was at like 700 HP from the weave, from a couple of tower hits, from the Sleight of Fist into the bolus, and they didn't really expend any significant cooldowns trying to kill him, and he's not going to BKB some Sleight of Fist or a bolus. He doesn't want to.
Yeah.
But he kind of has to.
I mean, his HP buffer just isn't there. Yule's is a great item, but it gives you nothing in terms of max
He has
HP.
like 1,400. He has, I think, the most on Dire, except for aside from Clockwork.
And it still isn't enough. Maybe a little bit of magic armor might be useful for him here at this point. A casual cloak couldn't hurt.
At the same time, then he had to worry about Sleight of Fist and the weave damage. So
Yeah.
he needs HP, he needs armor, he needs a lot of everything.
He needs everything at this point. Yeah, he just needs to tank up.
But now the tides have turned. C9 are the aggressors. Gold leads 7,500 in favor of C9, and Alliance is just not have a lineup well equipped to deal with this.
And here goes Eternal Envy. He'll engage. Bone 7 hops forward. He'll grab the Bane once again. Hook shot forward from Admiral Bulldog. In comes Pili Die with the counter initiate. He'll be the first to fall, but still gets the Echo Slam off. The Exorcism comes out. It was still off cooldown, but S4 didn't use it in the mid. And Dazzle will fall. A nice repel from Alliance. They make it a 2-0. Their tier 3 takes virtually no damage.
Very nice hook shot from Clockwork.
Yeah.
EGM, he very nice sleep from EGM too. If he didn't sleep himself there, he would have died to the EB combo. So he bought his team time and he involved the the waveform, and then the lasso came up, and very nice hookshot though. He found the Earthshaker. That was the important point. He popped his blade mail as Earthshaker was dropping the Chaos Dunk, and I mean, Pilot Eye has not had too much of an impact past that Ancient stacking, but he doesn't actually need to do anything except just be there and suicide during pushes
Don't
after
sell him
initiating.
short now, Merlini. He's had some nice fissures. He's made some space for his team.
He's made some space.
He's been lackluster in these team fights. Like the big Echo Slams haven't made some super big turns, but I think he's been
doing his job
well.
Yeah, no, he's been doing his job. His job is just delay the game, make sure they don't take a Rags early.
Oh, Admiral Bulldog whiffs the hook shot as Sing Sing moves into the trees. He will try and fire Remnant away. Going to go ahead and use the TP scroll, and he'll make it back to safety. Wow. So
Ember going mass Battle Fury soon. This is really bad for Alliance because the only way they're going to win is if they push, and there's almost no way they can push into that Ember Spirit.
Yeah.
Like even if they catch him out with like a hook shot and a silence and a grip, they still have a Grave, and then he'll just Remnant out.
Ake's in big trouble. Double damage up on the Morphling. Pylai Die blinks forward. The shotgun comes out, and Ake will fall. He burns his mech, but it's just not enough. Easy kill for Cloud9.
Even with the hood there too.
Yeah. He is very close to the pipe, though. Well, sort of close. He's got the 2 core pieces, just waiting on enough gold for that recipe, which he is still a ways from.
And Sing Sing feeling very brave, pushing out mid by his lonesome.
Yep.
Bode 7 has a BKB. That's really bad for Alliance too.
Yeah, he's actually had it for a little while. It's down to 8 seconds already.
Ruh-roh.
And Bone 7 hops forward. Another beautiful Yules coming out from S4, but is it enough? BKB comes out from Bone 7 as well as S4. The Fiend's Grip comes, but it gets interrupted. And there's the Exorcism. Can they finish off this Death Prophet, though, if they can kill her inside? Oh, wow, the Echo Slam just off the mark from Pylai Die. He gets put in a nightmare straight away. This time the Grave comes out. That'll buy him a little bit of time. Death Prophet will fall. Instant buyback, but what are you going to do, S4? You've got no ultimate up. He will try and make a hold. There's
it was
the
a
pipe from
very nice bolus and sleight of fist combo by Sing Sing. He interrupted the grip onto the Bat Rider almost instantly.
Wow. Huge damage coming out from Eternal Envy. He finishes off Bane. Now Admiral Bulldog caught inside of the bolas once again. Silence from the Death Prophet. Arrow connects onto Aoi 2000. He will not be able to grave, and he falls, but they also secure that kill onto Clockwork. Alliance are in some trouble here. Only 3 alive, still 4 up on the side of Cloud9. Pipe has already been burned. They don't have their big cooldowns. They will be forced to retreat to the well, but as will Cloud9.
And now Roshan is going to respawn in about a minute and 45 seconds. If C9 gets this on Morphling or Ember and the cheese as well, then Alliance just really can't defend. They're almost out of everything right now. Death Prophet, she did buy back that fight. They lost 3 heroes right outside their T3, and C9, they have, again, by far better late game.
Yeah, but between the Ember and the Morphling, you're absolutely right. And the double Battle Fury, it's a little bit of a clowny build, but it is so hard to deal with. Because Cloud9 have these frontliners between the Bat as well as the Earthshaker, Sing Sing can afford just to kind of sit back and spam that Bola Sleight of Fist combo and cleave all over the place. It's scary. I like this build here. And Morphling, he's 8-1 and 2. Eternal Envy, his Morphling is pretty powerful. I think he's one of the top Morphling players, even though I still don't like the hero. One thing that Eternal Envy is really good at is being elusive. He's really good at fighting when it's ideal for him and finding ways to pressure other lanes, find places to farm when it's not ideal for him to take fights. Yeah, and be very efficient. 8-1 and 2 is very impressive here. Alliance have been pretty aggressive this game. They've been trying to pick up kills, and Eternal Envy has done a great job avoiding death and also putting out a lot of damage. Now, Roche coming up in just a couple of seconds here. Alliance know it can't be too long. This is one of the longer Roche spawns possible, and they will start to posture around the pit. They want map control here. They have wards down, and Cloud9 don't have any clear vision of what's happening, but of course they are well aware of this Roche timer, and this is one of these scenarios where Dazzle really comes in handy as well, because Weave does give you vision when you use it. A very powerful scouting tool when it comes to the Roche.
But now there's a DD Morphling seizing their T3.
Oh no, this is a smart play from Cloud9 there. They're going to force Alliance to decide, do they want Roche or do they want their tier 3s? And Bone 7, he'll hop forward. That will be the end of Bane to start off this fight. Oh no, this is bad for Alliance. Oh, Loda! He gets destroyed by the shotgun. The double damage Morphling is just too much. Hookshot in, though, from Admiral Bulldog right on top of the Morphling. The Grave comes out, even though he's just fine. He will hop outside of the cogs, and all are healed. Coming out from the Chen, the pipe, but Chen just gets obliterated. Godlike streak coming out for Eternal Envy. The Ultra Kill, as LD likes to call it, the rune of many wins, living up to its name.
Ouch.
That
this was just utter devastation by Cloud9. Alliance, they were holding in okay, but with their lineup, they have to be ahead, by far ahead in kills and towers. I would say like 3 towers ahead by 15 minutes, or up by like 5 kills at 15 minutes, and neither of those happened. S4 just got super far behind in middle, and you asked if it was an S4 hero. It doesn't look like it yet. But again, he did have a lot of interference from Pylai on that Earthshaker. And then the bottom lane was just a disaster. It was a 3-on-2 situation, except Sing Sing and Aoi got so much out of the lane. I think every time Alliance got a kill, Sing Sing and company got at least one in return.
Yeah, that early game aggression really seemed to benefit Cloud9 because they were the ones that had the stronger mid game and late game lineup, and they did really well. Eternal Envy got a lot of momentum getting that solo kill on the Death Prophet, and Death Prophet's a hero. We've talked about it a lot of times. She doesn't play well from behind, and S4 didn't have the best start.
I know Bulldog played well though. He had that solo kill on Bone 7 on top, and then he ganked around the map, but I think it all started like on that bottom one where they chased Dazzle, and they lost 3 heroes, and they didn't even get the Dazzle. Yeah. That was the beginning of the end, because
that was really bad.
Their lineup just has so little room for error, though, and they didn't really go all out with the push, too. Maybe if it were a Luna instead of the bottom, maybe they could have done a little bit more.
Yeah, it's one of those games that you really need to do crippling damage. By that 25-minute mark or so, you need to have some Tier 2 towers down, starting to threaten the Tier 3s, control Roche. It was a little bit lucky for Cloud9, though, to get that double damage rune right as third Roche was spawned.
I mean, by that, it was like already... I won't say it was over for them, but Cloud9 had to mess up really badly, like post 22 minutes, I'd say. That's about when it's like, man, Alliance is in a lot of trouble. They have to make something happen.
Right, but still, that double damage rune coming in handy. Ultra kill on Eternal Envy to round it out. He ended that game 12-1 and 2 on Morphling, so he played really well. Like I was talking about towards the end of that game.
Him and Sing Sing both played really well this game.
Sing Sing as well, redeeming himself from yesterday's Ember Spirit, 5-2 and 11, double Battle Fury when it was all said
winning
and
a 2-on-3 situation. That's the most impressive part.
Dude, I still can't believe that damage with the build that he went for with the primary Bola leveling. Oh my gosh, that Mirana was just like tissue paper, man. He cut through her. She died so fast in the lane. It was insane. I mean, you expect the Ember Spirit to do a lot of damage, but that was more damage than I thought it would be.
Ember Spirit's damage output is just absolutely ridiculous, especially when you have Dazzle. It's like, oh, you did something wrong, whatever. You can grave and then just remnant back. Not a big issue.
Yeah. So here are your scores for EU day number 9 of Starladder Season 9. Alliance, they were here in 4 games, and they won 3 of the 4. Cloud9 did defeat their victory streak, though Alliance still looking very good. Rares were lost on this game. Alliance were favored by 69%.
Those odds were already off, though.
Yeah,
like if Empire is 67-33, Cloud9 Alliance should definitely be like maybe 62-38, maybe even 60-40. I mean, Cloud9 is so inconsistent, though. It's very difficult to bet on.
Absolutely true. So we've got one more game coming up. Our schedule is all messed up, and we'll have to double check if that game has already started. But there should be one NA game coming up after this. So stay tuned, guys. We'll take a break, and then we'll be coming on back for our last game of the day.